Most of the time when I'm plotting in AutoCAD, I'm going to use my layouts. Layouts give me the ability to have the most control over what my output is going to look like, the scale, the visibility of objects, as well as how it's going to be placed on the paper. When I'm working with a layout, the scaling of the actual objects will happen in each individual viewport. When I click inside the viewport, I can make sure that it is scaled to an appropriate scale and that all of my objects are visible at that scale. Also, I can see the size of the paper. Depending on which printer has been chosen, these dashed lines are showing me how close to the edge of the paper my printer will be able to print, and my title block can contain extra information that I want transmitted with the drawing. When I initially set up my layout, this information is found in my Page Setup Manager. A Page Setup Manager is like my plot box. This is the floor plan for this layout, the Sheet Setup Manager. This is my page setup. So it's just like my plot box, only it doesn't plot. It just sets the sheet up in my layout. When I'm working with layouts, the plot scale is always going to be 1:1. This is referring to my piece of paper. What I see on my piece of paper is exactly what I want plotted onto my paper. The scaling of the objects, it happens in the viewport. Also up here in my plot style table, depending on whether I'm using named plots, I can choose monochrome, which will give me all black and white output. And if I'm using a laser printer, I can make sure that my lines are black and white and not gray, as they are shades of color. I can preview what this is going to look like and hit escape to close the preview. To plot my layout, I would go to Output tab, and on the Plot palette, I would choose Plot. On my Plot dialog box, I can see what the output's going to be, paper size, and what I'm going to plot to. This is the extents, and we have to remember that these are referring to our layout and not necessarily to the object that we're printing in the viewport. So when we say extents, we're saying that we're going to print to everything that's on that piece of paper. Also, the scale is going to be 1:1 because we want everything that we can visibly see on our layout to be printed at exactly that size. You can center the plot onto the piece of paper, or you can designate an offset from the lower left corner using X and Y coordinates. This page setup, you can have page setups that are uniform, save them so that they're named, and pull them off a drop-down list. And from here you would go ahead and produce your print. We'll go on in the next video and look at plotting and plot preview.